device was later discovered to be harmless, police praised the vigilance of those who reported it and urged the public to continue to bring to their attention any suspicious unattended packages. Speaking at Scotland Yard late last night, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner expressed his regret for any disruption caused by the incident, but emphasized that public safety was paramount. The Home Secretary, in a statement, said that for the foreseeable future, the threat level would remain at substantial.
Zoe, I know you're only 15, but if you got up a bit earlier, then you could practice your clarinet and we could all have breakfast together. See you later tonight. Wear something nice.
I always do, Leon.
Traffic's good.
Thank you.
Oxford by 9, sir, so I can drop you right outside the station. And will we see you next weekend?
No.
What are you wearing tonight to collect your award?
Who's that?
Oh, just the dentist. A reminder for the hygienist tomorrow.
She's changed her day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Before you say anything, I didn't marry a stupid man, whatever his faults. And if you keep on contacting me, he's bound to find out.
Are you going tonight?
Why?
All the others are.
I'll see how I feel.
Dublin, Easter 1916. And a living nation is waiting to spring from the graves of patriots. But the Irish Republican Brotherhood has been infiltrated, and certain members intimidated or bribed by those masters of duplicity, the British Secret Service. — '
Would you ever write your memoirs?
Only if I could write the shocking truth about you. Go on, then. I'll wait.
It's James.
I had a whippet called Jimmy. He was fit and lean. And very, very fast.
I'm very, very much a James.
I imagine so.
Thank you.
I am so looking forward to reading this.
Oh, that's very kind. Who's it for?
Leon.
Success.
Who's it for, then?
Just me. They approached me at Cambridge.
MI5 did? Get away.
Nowadays they advertise. Then you had to be discreetly talent spotted.
A shipload of guns for the rebellion has just gone to the bottom of Hoth Harbor. So why not call the whole thing off? Elmo? If you spend more time with your feet on the ground, Mr. Woodeson.
Have you read my essay yet?
Oh, yes. Let's you and I have some quality one-to-one time tomorrow, shall we? My room's at 9. So why did the rebels go ahead and walk straight into the superior firepower of the British?
Well, the Irish soul is both pagan and Catholic. It was Easter. A blood sacrifice would resonate, so even in defeat, the Irish couldn't lose.
Good, Zoe. Perfectly stated.
Yes? How do I look?
Amazing. Can I come over later?
We'll see. Go straight there. No acrobatics on the way, please.
In case I lose this.
In case you hurt yourself, darling.
I need a drink first.
You can stay for one.
Let me tell you this, Dom. When she's 5 years old, she wrote to the Chancellor of the Exchequer, and she said, "I'll vote for you if you make my pocket money tax deductible so that I could be rich and she could be happy." And that is why, at 15, she's doing politics, philosophy, and economics, and I want you to keep her up to scratch.
Well, early days, but it could be the other way around.
Well, and that's straight from the horse's mouth. So listen, do me a favor and go and find your mother, will you? Zoe, of course, is enough to go to college, but I want to keep an eye on her.
Yes, I
apologise for the interruption. Daddy wants you.
Daddy can wait for a moment.
Thanks for coming.
I was actually just leaving. I've got something to do.
Oh.
I'm really sorry.
Am I interested in a little more? There you go. Top you up, Mrs.
No,
Suskin?
I'm fine.
Some more?
Here is my wonderful wife. Let me introduce you.
Oh, I think we met at Freshers' Week.
How are you, Judith?
I'm fine, thanks.
Oh, hello, darling. There she is.
Are you all right, darling?
I'm Andrea De Ritter, founder of The Gifted Child. Every year we award the Wilkie Scholarship to an outstandingly gifted young person accepted into higher education. And this year, it's Oxford University and Zoe Suskin. Well done. Let's smile for the camera. Just one more.
Andrea.
What do you want? You did do it.
Yeah. Suppose he calls the police.
Oh, it's too late to worry about that.
So can I come over?
Not tonight, darling.
You said.
Don't be childish. I said we'll see. I'm tired, and you're drunk.
You said.
You okay? We're hitting the wine pretty hard.
What do you want?
You need a hand, son?
No. No, nothing.
Come in. And do let's try and talk about this like grown-ups, shall we, darling? Let's try not to be angry.
Sir. Andrea De Ritter. She lived alone. She's downstairs.
Who's that?
Liam Cullen, friend. He found her this morning about 9. He had a spare key.
Do we know when she died?
Hobson's still taking a look, but I know who killed her. Albert Einstein. Single blow to the back of the head with that.
Presume the bleach is to get rid of the DNA?
You're learning. You used to think DNA meant don't know anything.
Better than thinking CID stands for coppers in disguise.
If I may, there's a dust ring on a plinth up there which would fit Albert.
Yes, it was thrown down on her from behind to keep the splatter off the killer. And then he or she cleaned it up.
Timing?
Can't do better than, say, 4 hours after 9:30 last night.
Right. A gifted child.
Don't speak about Sergeant Hathaway like that. You'll give him a big head. Hi.
Letter seemed to be from some chap called Elmo. I haven't had a proper look, but it could be a boyfriend. That's the only thing out of place as far as I can see, other than Mr. Einstein.
Fill me in on this Liam Cullen. Then have a closer look at these letters. Okay. I'm Detective Inspector Lewis, Mr. Cullen. I'm sorry about this.
Andrea was a good friend. We were good friends.
And you came here this morning to pick up a check from her?
I run a catering sideline from my pub, the Fiddler's Hearth. Last night we did an event for Gifted Child at the Natural History Museum. When I called here this morning, the lights were still on. But I got no answer. I went back home for a spare set of keys. I just lived 2 minutes away.
Did Andrea have a boyfriend?
No. No, she'd have told me.
How close were you?
Well, about 5 years ago, we had a little fling. We stayed friends.
Did Andrea know an Elmo?
Elmo Woodeson. Yeah, he's a student at Savile College. He comes into the pub.
What?
I saw Elmo last night on my way back from the museum. He'd had a skinful.
Do you think he and Andrea could have had a relationship?
No. 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 She did tell me once that he fancied her. You know, had a bit of a crush, but he was a kid. She was a woman.
You look rough. At least you're here. Come in.
Got any paracetamol?
Have you read the letters yet? Cullen says Elmo had a crush on her.
It was reciprocated. It was more than a crush.
You blushing? Yep. Right, thanks. Nothing known on Elmo Woodeson.
Should be in his politics tutorial now. No, not in the college. It's being held by Donald Voss. He's one of those, according to the porter.
One of what?
Well, he holds his tutorials by the riverbank or in his favourite coffee shop, which is where he is now.
Gifted children use long words, enjoy problem solving, are very sensitive emotionally, and are often prone to deny the obvious. Remind you of anyone?
No.
I made the last bit up.
A definition of politics. Battle of interests, masquerading as a contest of principles.
That's not original, by the way. But then I'm allowed to plagiarize. You, most definitely, are not.
Dr. Voss?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Which one of you is Elmo Woodeson?
Elmo's not here.
Isn't he meant to be?
Meant to be. He said he was coming when I saw him, but that's Elmo. Unreliable and unpredictable.
When was this?
Today. He came by earlier to discuss an essay.
Could we have a word?
Sure.
Elmo's not here. This is Detective Sergeant Hathaway.
Dr. Voss, I really need a coffee, sir. Can I get you one?
No, you go on.
Hey, I recognize a fellow caffeine addict when I see one. I haven't touched it.
Thanks.
So why do you want Elmo?
We're investigating a murder, Andrea De Ritter.
Andrea? You're kidding.
I'm afraid not.
Wow. I saw her yesterday.
She was found dead at home. We think she was killed last night.
By Elmo?
We just want to talk to him for the moment. How did he seem this morning?
Outrageously hungover.
How long have you known him?
Since term started. It's his first year. Mine too. I relocated from Cambridge.
Oh, which college?
Harvard. Cambridge, Massachusetts.
If Elmo shows up, could you ask him to call?
Sure.
She looks young.
Zoe. Yeah, she's not even 16. She's one of Andrea's so-called gifted kids.
So-called?
Well, is it such a gift? Being identified as special at an early age isn't always conducive to developing a rounded personality.
Isn't that rather a lazy assumption?
If you say so.
Andrea, just call me, please.
Police officers, your scout told us where to find you.
You missed your tutorial.
Is that a crime? No one's told me.
When did you last see Andrea De Ritter?
Last night at the museum. There was a presentation. Why?
I'm afraid she's dead.
Killed.
Why do you say that?
Because you're the police.
She was murdered.
You and Miss De Ritter had a sexual relationship.
Yeah, but not,
Not? What?
not last night. She wouldn't let me come back with her.
Were you angry with her?
I was angry at myself. I should have protected her.
From what, Elmo? If you know any reason why anybody would want to hurt her, you better say.
I don't. And I've got a tutorial.
All right. We're going to want to see you again, so don't go walkabout. You're scared or something.
Andrea De Ritter was founder of the Gifted Child organisation, which gives advice to parents with clever kids, mainly through a website. But it was in the red and going down fast. Bank had blocked her credit cards until she cleared her overdraft.
Well, she was still spending, though. What about that do last night?
Well, there's your photo.
Presenting the Wilkie Scholarship on behalf of the Gifted Child organisation. Yeah, that's the girl who was in Voss's tutorial.
Yeah, the scholarship is funded by an independent charitable foundation. It's kind of prestigious, not valuable.
Andrea still had to fund her lifestyle, though. House like that certainly wasn't pulling in the purse strings.
No, because she had her own company, Gifted Child Books, which paid her a healthy salary, but as far as I can tell, published nothing.
So who's backing Gifted Child Books? Which is which?
Well, that's all I had, so take your pick.
I'll take the cheese. I'm not risking prawn.
Oh, you surprised me, sir. I always had you down as a prawn cocktail man.
Too sophisticated for me.
No, I was talking less about your taste and more about your era.
Thanks. Anyway, they're in again. Prawn cocktails. Retro. Unless they're back out again by now. Thought you came down a bit hard on Voss about the gifted kids.
Possibly. Gifted Child Books, a proposed series of essential books in association with the Suskin Press.
Suskin? Zoe Suskin, 15, accepting this year's Wilkie Scholarship.
Suskin Press, Chief Executive, Leon Suskin.
When our democratic freedoms need defending, then ethical considerations must sometimes take a back seat. But it's those same freedoms that have allowed me to write the truth.
The title of your book is too long. Like a slithering snake. Lies and secrets. It's slitheringly long.
Have you read it?
Every slithery word. It should just be called Lies. Because nothing is secret from me.
All right. On your way.
Lies! 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 Slithering lies! Lies!
Zoe?
Zoe, aren't you meant to be at a lecture?
Philosophy. Ages yet. How is the hygienist?
Fine. gold star for healthy gums. Do you want a cup of coffee or something?
No, thanks. I think I'll get the early, just in case.
Off you go, then.
Love you.
Who's the next people?
Are you okay?
This wasn't meant to happen.
Oh no,
It's all going wrong.
I'm pleased you enjoyed my lies and my secrets.
No, I did. I thought it was wonderful. Just kicking myself that I didn't snap it up for the Suskin press.
Oh, I'm flattered.
No, I think that Egon and Rogers have done a good job for them, but as I understand it, they haven't had the sense to take up an option on the next book.
I'm not sure I have another book in me, Mr. Suskin.
Oh, well, that's always the risk with first-time authors. You win some, you lose some. But with me, you'd win. Or with Suskins, irrespective, because you would receive a considerable and non-returnable advance on signature.
Go on.
Gripping as Lies and Secrets is, I was just wondering whether we could entice you to stick your neck out a little bit more in the next book.
Is there something specific you want to know?
Yes. This arrived yesterday, and you've signed it. Yeah, this was inside.
You've read that chapter?
Yes, but certain bits of that chapter are a little vague.
Some secrets stay secret. I made that clear in my Q&A session this morning. Were you still there for that? A rather unpleasant young man was ejected.
You noticed me?
It was my job for 40 years. Noticing people.
Oh, they're finished.
Hello again. James.
Dame Grace.
You look very stern today. Goodbye, Mrs. Suskin.
Goodbye. Sorry, who are you?
I believe you knew Andrea De Ritter.
New? So, was it a break-in or a robbery or what?
Early days yet, Mr. Suskin.
Andrea's joint publishing venture with the Suskin Press, Gifted Child Books.
Yes, what about it?
Just seems rather a one-sided deal, taking a lot of money from Suskins without producing very much.
Yes, well, Andrea was having problems with her authors, but she told me all about that.
There weren't any authors. As far as we can tell, they weren't even paid or contracted.
Well, I left all that to her.
Why did you give so much money to somebody who'd never produced a book before?
Because I knew the level of support that her organisation gave to gifted kids and their parents. My daughter is one such. She's just won the Wilkie Scholarship for this year, and that makes us very proud, as you can imagine.
Don't you think Andrea De Ritter should have declared an interest? As I understand it, it's her final decision as to who wins the scholarship.
Well, look, I can see you're a policeman with a strong view on the ethics of publishing, but what the hell has this got to do with her murder?
Where were you last night, sir, after, say, 9:30?
Me? Well, if you must know, once I'd seen Zoe collect her scholarship, I came back here to work.
Was there anyone here who can confirm that for us?
No.
We found a letter on Andrea's computer that she'd started writing to you. Your marriage is a sham, Leon, and you're living a lie, darling. That knowledge is worth a lot.
What knowledge?
Was she blackmailing you?
No, I never received anything like this.
Was the relationship strictly business?
Yes, it was. She called everyone darling. Look, my wife, my daughter, and my faith are the three most important things in my life, and I would never risk those for anything.
Well, that's it for now, Mr. Suskin.
See, they can see out, but I can't see in. I hate not knowing things, don't you?
No alibi.
I think Andrea was gearing up to blackmail. Even if she hadn't finished the letter, he was rattled.
Older woman has affair with unstable student. Andrea dumps him. He kills her and then he kills himself.
Witnesses?
Not yet, but there wouldn't be unless you happened to be looking up when he jumped.
Something's not right. The body wasn't quite where you'd expect it to be if he jumped off, was it? Too far out and over.
I think he was pushed.
Difficult. Killer would have had to get him up on the parapet.
What if he was up here already if he was being chased? Oh. Oh.
Don't tell me you've got vertigo.
Acrophobia is a fear of heights. Vertigo is a balance problem.
Whatever it is that what you've got?
Oh, I've got prawns.
Well, that's why I never risked them myself. Tasty enough at the time, but not worth the worry. You're going to be sick.
No, I need to go to the loo quickly.
How quick do you reckon you can take them stairs? I'll see you down there.
No one's ever died before. That I know, I mean. Not that I really knew Elmo.
He wasn't easy.
Real adults, like you, aren't problematical for me mostly. It's my slightly older peers like Elmo that present a challenge.
What did you like about him?
Well, obviously he was good-looking, attractive. Why did he do it?
Who knows?
I haven't cried yet.
Sometimes you cry when you least expect it. Sometimes you think you're crying for one thing, and really it's about something else.
I never cry. My dad used to tease me if I did. I think Mum's having an affair.
I can't really help. You know, whatever they get wrong, your mom and dad seem to be pretty solid support. It's great that you're here. Hey, this was kicking around. I cleaned it up. It's an owl for wisdom.
The sacred creature of Minerva, the Roman goddess. Or Athena, the Greek version. I know.
You would. Would you like it?
Thanks, Dom.
What are you looking for?
Memories.
Anything special?
I'll tell you when I'm ready.
Fine. Dinner? When you're ready.
Parkour, or free running. You negotiate objects in your way by jumping up and off them or leaping and climbing over them until you get where you're going.
Like an obstacle race?
Except that there's no racing. It's sort of urban cool.
So Elmo's fall could have been just a leap that went wrong.
Ambitious one, if it was.
What about this knife box that he chalked all over his hidey hole? Could that be the name of a band?
Not one I've heard of.
Oh, but you're getting on a bit now. Would this do as a suicide note?
I heard two lovers late at night talking of love and death and life. It's Elmo and Andrea.
Except that he'd hardly been listening to himself.
Poetic license.
Andrea's murder doesn't seem like a crime of passion to me. Too neat and tidy. Not like a spontaneous explosion of anger from a screwed-up 18-year-old.
Well, his letters were all over the place.
Well, anyone could have done that.
You know, sometimes you couldn't believe that this is England's second-best university.
You're speaking objectively, of course.
Of course. So politics, I say, for Donald Voss.
Oh, not up to scratch.
No, it's just his comments. Useless, you promise so much and deliver worse than nothing.
Maybe he deserved it.
No, that's schoolmaster stuff. This is university. Can I just have a look at that properly?
Okay. My gran always used to say, you're sharp. Been sleeping in the knife box. She'd have been talking about you.
Not the way I feel.
Yeah, okay. Pack it in for today. I'll finish up here. Nil by mouth. And keep a bowl by the bed.
Thanks for the advice.
Right. See you tomorrow. Be good. Work hard.
Don't forget the Morrisons are coming for dinner.
I'll put them off.
Why?
Why? Because I'll be too tired, that's why. I'll see you tomorrow.
Here. Let me help. Huh. That's new.
Don gave it to me.
Your tutor.
Yeah. Wasn't that nice of him?
Lovely. What's the essay?
The Art of Negotiation and Anglo-Irish Treaty.
Okay, now don't tell me. 1922, Lloyd George and de Valera.
1921, Austen Chamberlain and Michael Collins.
Trust me to get it well. I never was as clever as you.
That doesn't matter, Mum. Honest. He shouldn't shout at you like that.
No.
Can we call in at that Irish pub, the Fiddlers?
Stay away from Judith. Like your hair. Seeing you tonight. Kiss, kiss.
For the love of God, please stop.
To think that she would betray me with a man like you.
She isn't, I promise. I swear to God, there is nothing going on.
Shut up! You are lucky I've got bigger fish to fry than a sprat like you.
I've got a train to catch.
I have called police.
There's no need, there's no need.
Next time, you're dead.
And we're all off to Dublin in the green, with their helmets glistening in the sun, where the bayonets flash and the rifles crash to the echo of a Thompson gun. Thank you, fans. I don't have a great voice, but you don't need one to sing rebel songs, and that is why you will hear them at closing time in many an Irish pub. You find in these songs a comradeship, which is the key to understanding both the Easter Rising and the political complexity of the War of Independence, which 3 years...
Donnie, you okay?
Zoe, call for help, will you?
Leon Suskin, please. When will he be back? Do you know by which train? Yes, his voicemail, please. Mr. Suskin, Grace Orde, may we speak again? On reflection, what you told me is rather worrying. And sometimes things can get out of hand, with attendant unpleasantness.
That's good.
Thank you.
Office worker across from where Elmo fell has just come forward. Says he was definitely trying to jump the gap, and she didn't see anyone else.
I've just found some interesting photos of Cullen taken by Andrea last month.
You blushing again? Or just getting your colour back? Oh, blushing then.
This is work, I hope.
Yes,
It is,
Mum.
Mum.
It's a relief. Donald Voss, remind me.
Elmo Woodeson's tutor. Also knew Andrea De Ritter.
The hospital's notified us that he's been admitted with arsenic poisoning.
He's been poisoned regularly, over at least a month. His most recent dose would have been his tipping point.
Poisoned deliberately?
Arsenic can get into all sorts of things. Although these days, in this country, it is rare. On the other hand, if I wanted to kill someone, which I don't, unless you consider the chairman of the health authority, I wouldn't use it. Too easily detectable.
Will he live?
I'm not God.
No, I'm aware of that, Doctor, but any port in a storm, try.
With arsenic, it's notoriously hard to predict.
He could pull through, but his recovery could be quick or slow. Excuse me.
A nation once again, a nation once again, and Ireland long of Providence be a nation.
Mr. Cullen!
Yes.
Is that Carolina?
How did you know that?
She called 999 this morning when Leon Suskin was assaulting you. By the time we attended, he'd gone and you sent us away. What was that about?
He got the wrong end of the stick. Thought I was having an affair with his wife. We were all friends by the end. I even bought him a drink for the road. What can I do for you?
When we spoke before, you said you and Andrea De Ritter were just friends these days. But these are more than happy snaps. And they were only taken last month. Why did you lie?
Because I thought Andrea was having a thing with Elmo. Even though I said I didn't know. I didn't want her to seem like a tart.
So what happened? Did you decide that she really was a tart and kill her?
I adored her.
The one doesn't rule the other out, in my experience.
But if in doubt, pin it on Paddy, is that it? Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, well, it would for me, Mr. Cullen. Because I've never pinned anything on anyone. Okay? Okay?
If you say so.
And your music is too loud.
Can I help you? Oh, excuse me. Have you seen my daughter, Zoe?
Will he be okay?
70-30 in his favour.
Isn't bad, is it?
I'd say it's better than not bad. Tell me something. Don't most gifted children study maths or computing or...
Something where the answers are quantifiable. I wanted a broader approach to help me develop the emotional intelligence that some gifted kids lack. It can get lonely. Is that why you're a policeman? Because you're frightened by your own cleverness and of being lonely?
I was never as clever as you.
You were, I can tell.
What makes you think you don't have to be clever to be a policeman?
Sorry.
Did Elmo say anything to you when he saw you?
He showed me the news about Andrea and said it's all going wrong. I don't know what he meant.
Why do you think he's dead?
How would I know? I'm a child.
Here you are. It's time to go.
This is my mother.
Sergeant James Hathaway, Mrs. Suskin.
Hello. It's an awful thing to have happened. Do you know how it did?
Not yet, no.
Why would anyone poison Voss?
Well, there's nothing in his background. He's British, originally.
Where from?
Swindon.
Oh, went there once, it was closed.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Thanks. Toxicology on Elmo. Traces of LSD.
Thought LSD was undetectable.
No, apparently not. If he was high on acid, maybe he thought he could fly. It's not murder, suicide, or free running. It's just sad.
Dr. Voss's room is through here.
Thank you.
Cheers. What would he have had on a regular basis? Did someone spike his Costa Rican?
No. Need to see any sugar? We are looking for white crystals, after all.
No.
Does he eat in college?
Usually, but if it's kitchen staff for a college waiter, they'd have to be very clever with all those people around.
Hey, I'm not here right now, so why not leave a message?
Hello, Don. This is Leon Suskin. I just wanted to have a word with you about something. I'm not in Oxford at the moment, but perhaps we could meet tomorrow night at the Portobello Club, say between 10 and 11. Anyway, I'll try your mobile.
I'll let his office know that Voss will still be in hospital.
Has he been ill at all the last month?
Food poisoning once. Well, that's what he thought at the time. He gave me his coffee. I only had a few sips.
But the prawns are innocent.
I guess what we're asking, Eileen, is if you've noticed anyone from Dr. Voss's study group acting strangely around his coffee, putting something in it.
Like arsenic. It's halfway around Oxford by now. Students are worse gossips than anyone.
How difficult would it be without being spotted?
I don't watch what they do once I've served them. And the table's always covered with books and things.
You never saw any of his group, I don't know, fetching his coffee themselves.
I always serve it. Wouldn't be one of the boys, though, would it? Poison is a woman's weapon.
Is it?
I love the old ways best. The simple way of poison, where we too are as strong as men.
One of the Greek tragedies.
Right, Medea. I played her once at drama school. Look at me now.
Even if we could establish a motive, it couldn't have been Elmo, because he wasn't there when you had the coffee. What about Zoe Suskin?
What? Why?
It's not normal, is it, being that clever?
It's not average, you mean? There's nothing at all to suggest she had anything to do with it.
Why was she at the hospital? You said she was the only one of his students there.
Well, maybe she cares about him.
In any case, we don't know for sure that it was the coffee that gave you the funny turn rather than the prawns.
It was definitely the coffee.
Gut feeling?
You've been sleeping in the knife box again, sir.
Oh, knife box, don't remind me. It's not an anagram, is it?
X, ink, fob, if, knob, X.
Can you pee on demand, Sergeant?
I beg your pardon?
We're gonna need a urine sample. It's time you were tested for arsenic.
Change of plan. Rickman Road. Suskin Press. What do you want? My first wife died before we could have children, but Judith gave me Zoe, and what a gift, what a joy. I had hoped for more, perhaps a son, but now I've lost two wives because when you discover that a woman is not what you think she is.
But Liam Cullen denies even having an affair with Judith.
Sorry, I just don't want to talk about this.
Well, I do, Mr. Suskin. Because your assault on Mr. Cullen suggests to me that you could have difficulty controlling your temper.
I'm just supposing that on occasion I do.
Well, then I'd have to wonder if you were capable of extreme violence if pushed. Especially if you feel betrayed. You threatened to kill Cullen.
You still think that I killed Andrea, don't you?
Was she blackmailing you?
I've already told you, no.
You've already told us that you were here alone, working at the time she was killed.
And are you in a position to contradict that?
Are you in a position to confirm it?
No.
Oh, I meant to ask him if they published anything on early Irish history. I was reading Elmo's essay last night, and he makes this reference to a 10th century Irish prince called Cian Bosca. Now, Brian Boru I've heard of, and my Anham, but...
Haven't we all?
This treacherous Bosca, I don't know anything about it.
Well, you see, you don't know everything, do you? Was it relevant to the investigation?
I don't know. Should it be?
Yes.
Why?
Because just sometimes, James, do you never think you could be too clever for your own good? You jumped down my throat when I mentioned Zoe Suskin.
Well, that's pure speculation.
Yeah, it's a detective's job to speculate. And just because Zoe Suskin is nearly as clever as you is no reason to rule her out of anything.
Stabbed. No weapons been found as yet, but we've got shoe prints in the soft ground over here.
Laura?
Ah, Robbie. First look, I'd say death between 10 and 2. There are multiple wounds, it's all a bit messy, so I can't yet identify the type of weapon, except to say that it was small.
He still had his wallet on him, cards and cash.
Oh, well, I think Elmo's toxicology showed LSD? I thought LSD was undetectable.
Well, it is usually. I'll call the lab and get back to you.
Sir, over here.
What do you got?
This is the best one.
It's big. Looks more like a boot than a shoe. Thanks. In the phone message that he left for Voss, Leon says he'll be at the Portobello Club between 10 and 11 so they could meet.
I told Suskin's office that Voss was still in hospital, but if they didn't get the message across to him, then he would have waited at the Portobello until 11 and then started walking home.
There's got to be some connection between this and Andrea De Ritter's murder. Sorry to bother you at a time like this, but we need to ask you a few questions about your relationship with your husband. Do you mind me asking how you got the bruise?
I slipped this morning when I was putting out the bird food.
I'd like to talk to Zoe, if that's okay.
I'm very sorry, but I have to ask you about this. We don't think it was ever sent, but it's from Andrea De Ritter to your husband.
Your marriage is a sham, Leon. You're living a lie, darling. That knowledge is worth a lot. I don't know what that means.
It could mean that Leon and Andrea were having an affair.
It's laughable. Our marriage was fine. Absolutely fine, thank you.
I'm really sorry about your dad.
Why should I believe you? You're a liar. You told me Don's chances were 70-30 when the doctor had already told me he didn't know.
Well, that's what they told me too, but sometimes you lie for the best of reasons. Did your dad hit your mum yesterday?
She slept in the garden this morning.
Is that true?
Sometimes you lie for the best of reasons.
Don't grow up angry, Zoe. It takes so much effort to find your place in the world when you're angry. Believe me.
It's not a wound shape I recognize. Blade could be curved, possibly serrated. I'll have to narrow it down a bit. Oh, and we missed something in his back pocket. I'll send it over.
The Suskin Press.
Wasn't a happy marriage, though, was it?
Every unhappy wife knifed her husband.
Any speculating?
Grace Orde's book. Signed. There's a note. Who Killed Mary, Chapter 8, darling.
That is Andrea De Ritter's handwriting, I think. She killed everyone, darling, Suskin said.
Carly? Do you know when this came?
About 5, Monday, just after Mr. Suskin left.
What was Grace Orde doing here the next day?
I don't know. It was very short notice.
You're sure it was London Miss Suskin went to on Wednesday?
Yes?
Not Belfast?
Belfast, no.
OK, thanks.
What?
Email confirmation of a return ticket to Belfast and a hotel.
What is this? Chapter 8. Northern Ireland and the Troubles. Oh, some photos ripped out here. You've got some reading to do. Have a look in your copy. See what those missing photos are. I want to see Liam Cullen. Leon Suskin was attacked last night.
What? Is he all right?
He's dead. Are you quite sure that it was Judith Suskin the two of you were fighting over? Not Andrea De Ritter?
Yeah.
Only it occurs to me that Andrea could have been two-timing both of you with each other. That would have made you very angry with her and with him, wouldn't it?
It would. But it didn't happen.
Have you got any sort of connection with Belfast?
Why?
Have you or haven't you? It wouldn't take us long to find out.
Between 84 and 87, I worked for a law firm, Peters and McNally, as a solicitor's clerk. So what?
Why did you leave Belfast?
Because I thought I might make my fortune over here. So far, so good. What time was Leon killed?
Just after 11.
I was here till 2. Asked the staff.
Does the word knife box mean anything to you?
Yeah. It's a box you put knives into. What?
Where are these staff that were here with you?
Through here. You should come in when we have a band on. It's good crack.
Yeah, the staff confirm his alibi, but run a background check on him, will you? As if he was up to anything when he worked in Belfast. Didn't want me to know at first. How are you getting on?
Well, I spoke to Leon's hotel in Belfast, and they say they ordered a taxi to take him to Queen's University. Queen said he wanted to take a look in the archives at old yearbooks, but the archivist is not there, so she'll call me back.
What about this Chapter 8 and the missing page?
Picture of a young girl. But Hobson sent me over what she found in Suskin's pocket. Another picture, same girl.
Zoe, you should be at home. Dad's dead.
And there's nothing I can do for him. Don's ill.
Zoe, go. I told her, but she wouldn't. I'm very sorry for your loss, Mrs. Suskin.
Thank you. I know this isn't the moment, but I must say I think it's completely inappropriate that a tutor should give any student jewelry, let alone a 15-year-old.
Mom!
Zoe, go.
Chapter 8 covers Grace's career in Northern Ireland when she ran double agents inside the IRA. The girl is Mary Keane. She was born in England to Irish parents, and she went on to study politics at Queen's University, Belfast in 1986. She was a Republican sympathiser who became the girlfriend of a prominent IRA commander.
And the boyfriend was Grace Orde's #1 enemy, because he was the IRA's top man at interrogating, i.e. torturing informers. Should I give his name?
No. The nasty bit is that there was a power struggle going on in the Belfast IRA at the time, and because Mary was English-born, she was accused of being an informant by her boyfriend's rival. So he is given a choice. He's to interrogate and execute her, or they're going to do it for him. And so he does. He sacrifices her for the cause and for his place in it.
Who killed Mary? Why would Andrea De Ritter send this to Leon Suskin?
Well, someone's tried to clear her search history and not done a very good job of it, but Andrea had been trying to dig up stuff on Mary Keane.
Elmo said to Zoe, it's all going wrong. Maybe they were both digging up secrets, Andrea and Elmo. I mean, he was kicked out of that talk for shouting at Grace Orde.
Or maybe the acid was just kicking in. Hathaway, yeah. Oh, thanks for calling. Archivist, Queens.
Your Mr. Suskin's run over our copy of the yearbook for 1987.
Look, I need to get hold of a photo from that yearbook, a politics student, Mary Keane.
Can you tell me what it's in connection with?
Murder inquiry. Is there anything you can do?
I'll see if I can sniff out another copy somewhere and fax you the picture.
It's kind, thank you. Bye.
1987, Mary Keane would be, what, 20?
Sir. Outside the Portobello Club, Leon Suskin arrives on the dot at 10. 10 seconds later, a motorbike pulls up and waits until he leaves. It's too dark to get the reg or to ID the rider. Suskin leaves at 11. The bike pulls out. It's following him. Yeah, it's following him.
Thanks, Madge.
Is Grace Orde in MI5 again? I thought she'd retired.
Do ex-heads of MI5 ever retire?
I don't know, your guess is as good as mine.
Is it?
It was an approach. I knew I shouldn't have mentioned it.
If we're up against the secret state, they don't fight fair. Well, actually in the antenatal class? Never. Hang on a minute, love.
Just thought I'd let you know about Elmo and the toxicology report.
All right, is it? Very complicated.
I can make it not so. The lab detected LSD because it was a brain burner of a dose, absolutely massive. If he hadn't have jumped, he would have been psychotic for the rest of his life.
Could he have taken that amount by accident?
Well, it's possible, but if anybody had a motive to destroy his mind, I'd assume the worst.
Yeah, I'm still here, love. Tell her name.
Ah, give him my love.
Yeah, well, yeah, sorry, love.
I'll go.
No, Laura. No, just work. And how's the morning sickness? Why did you meet with Leon Suskin?
Publishers and authors have meetings.
Well, we think he wanted to know about a murdered student called Mary Keane. As did a woman called Andrea De Ritter, who was also murdered, and her boyfriend was drugged and fell to his death the next day.
How thorough you are.
But why would all these people be interested in a victim of the Troubles from 20 years ago? Leon tore her picture out of your book and flew straight to Belfast.
Really?
Yeah, you had a book signing in Oxford on Monday. By Thursday, 3 people I can directly link to your book had died, and a man with links to all 3 of them is poisoned.
Oh, dear. I shall have to think twice about writing a sequel. What are you doing?
It's your drivers?
Yes. You've only just missed him. I sent him for some groceries in the car when he arrived.
Do you know where he was Thursday night?
At home in Oxford, I imagine.
Thanks.
In your book, you say Mary Keane was murdered by an IRA commander.
It was ghastly. The girl was innocent of what she was accused of. She was a loyal, well, if naive, Republican.
What was her killer's name?
He had a family who are still alive. They deserve to be left in peace.
He's dead, then?
I knew you were bright first time I saw you. You should look for more mundane reasons for your murders. It's usually sex or money, isn't it?
Bike's engine's stone cold. He hadn't just arrived.
Overnight, then.
I'll see what CCTV footage we've got of Suskin the day he was killed, outside his office, the station when he got back. See if that bike shows up.
I knew you were bright the first time I saw you, too.
Hathaway. Thanks. Belfast law firm where Cullen worked acted for suspected IRA members. One of the partners was even convicted for harbouring an IRA gunman. Shall we bring Cullen in for questioning?
The Chief Constable, please. Dame Grace Orde.
Do you have any idea how you could have been poisoned?
I'd go for someone in the history faculty. I'm hated by the social historiographers.
This is serious. Leon Suskin was murdered while you were in hospital.
Yeah, I know. Zoe told me.
Well, she came to see you rather than being with her mother.
Yeah. I mean, her mother wasn't very happy about it.
I'm investigating the possibility of a connection between Suskin's killing and the attempt on your life.
Well, like what? I only knew Leon through Zoe.
Might be an idea to have protection.
What, a cop on the landing? I look after myself. I mean, I had to, some of the neighborhoods I've lived in.
It's your choice.
Grace Orde has the ear of the Chief Constable.
I don't care what bits of him she's got, Mum. There's CCTV of her driver watching Leon Suskin leave Oxford Station and his ex-special branch.
Tread carefully, then.
I'd really like your support in this, Mum.
And you have it within bounds. That's all.
Oh, and Hathaway's tested positive
Sorry?
for arsenic.
So, could you take a look at this?
No comment.
Mrs. Norman, Eileen, we found arsenic in your handbag. Do you understand how serious this is?
No comment.
I'm showing the suspect a newspaper cutting which was found in her possession. This is the man we believe you to have been poisoning, Donald Voss. Is that why you came to Oxford 2 months ago, to track him down? Why have you got a picture of him?
No further comment.
Interview suspended until I find out who you really are, Eileen.
Your previous employers, the Belfast law firm, they did a lot of work for the Republican cause.
Well, somebody had to defend the boys. It's not over yet, you know.
Were you ever in the IRA, Liam?
No comment.
On another matter, are you having an affair with Judith Suskin?
Judith Suskin's a friend.
What about the texts you sent her?
Flirtation. Sometimes they say no when they mean yes.
They being women. She got a black eye for those texts.
I got a torn shirt.
You ever heard of a 10th century Irish prince called Scian Bosca?
A prince? Scian's the Gaelic for knife.
Bosca. Box.
Even the way you say it.
Idiot.
Any ideas on the Suskin murder weapon yet?
Well, there's quite a selection. It's taken me a little while to make up my mind, Robbie, but I think I'm there. Just find somebody who likes cheese.
Thanks.
Why Cullen left Belfast?
I'll go.
They're still digging on Eileen Norman.
How long we got it for?
Plenty of time yet.
You're bailed, Mr. Cullen.
Third time. Why?
Because I've got better things to do just now than concern myself with a common or garden, hopefully harmless stalker. You've been stalking Judith Suskin.
Stalking? It was just flirtation.
Well, like it was with the secretary in your Belfast law firm, whose father turned out to be one of the boys, which is why you got out of Belfast so quick, wasn't it? You'd have faced some very rough justice indeed.
Well, when you're not so busy, you're welcome for a drink at the Fiddler's. On the house.
Eileen Norman's maiden name is Keane. She's Mary's aunt.
Eh? Eileen Norman is Mary Keane's aunt? Well, then, her poisoning Voss only makes any sort of sense if she's avenging Mary's murder. And if Voss is the IRA man who killed her.
No, Grace Orde said he was dead.
No. When you assumed that, she just said, I knew you were bright,
But then why would he kill Leon?
Well, Voss would have killed him if Leon had discovered his true identity. But how did Voss get out of the hospital, kill Leon, and get back in without anyone knowing, in his state?
Or maybe he was pretending to recover more slowly than he actually was.
No, first things first, let's find out if we're right about Voss. Gene Innocent's come up trumps, so this time I won't be fobbed off by Amazing Grace. You go and see if Voss could have left the hospital. I want to know the name of Mary Keane's killer.
It's an official secret.
Yeah, and you have an unofficial secret.
I beg your pardon?
My superintendent has contacts. Your husband spends the week at the London house while you play Mrs. Tiggywinkle out here.
Leave, Inspector, now.
No. Your driver, Ronald Marsden of 71 Charter Court, Oxford, spends most weeknights here. Not only that, but I have a boot print that I reckon places him within spitting distance of where Leon Suskin was murdered.
He was too late. Suskin was already dead.
You say. Look, I don't want to put your private life in the spotlight or drag your Ronnie into a murder inquiry, but if I have to, I have to. Now, who killed Mary Keane?
Here's Donald Voss's care record.
Afternoon, wakefulness, some improvement, nil by mouth. Later ordered a glass of milk and a cheese platter.
That was for his visitor, Zoe.
Conlon Derhenny was a brilliant student from a working-class Republican background in Londonderry. He joined the IRA and rose to the top. He had personally exposed and executed 3 of our people. So, when we learned that he'd fallen in a big way for Mary Keane, we made her our unwilling recruit.
How?
Pressures were applied, especially to the Irish side of her family. And she brought Conlon to us. So, we now had our own man on the inside, responsible for interrogating and executing informers.
Except now, of course, it was loyal IRA man getting the bullet instead.
Of course.
And why would he do it?
For love of the first woman he ever lost his heart to. But after 2 years, he fell under suspicion, and we had to get him out. Complete with a false identity. Donald Voss.
Well, even after he'd killed Mary?
We got her out too. The killing was staged. Mary Keane is still alive.
Donald Voss is Conlon Doe Henny, codename Knifebox.
Well, how would Elmo know that?
I heard two lovers late at night talking of love and death and life. He overheard something. Then he tells Andrea, and she sees an opportunity for blackmail.
And Elmo couldn't resist putting Knifebox or Skian Bosco into his essay just to wind Voss up.
So it's got him killed as well as Andrea.
But overheard who? Voss and Mary. Who's Mary?
Keep up, you're the bright kid.
Picture from Belfast.
I'm on my way.
Why France?
I think it'll do us some good to get away for a couple of days.
Who is that text from?
Go to your room now and make sure that you've got everything. And take that off.
Why?
Don't argue.
Where the helmets glisten in the sun, where the blades flash and provide.
Why didn't you answer my text?
Zoe, stay upstairs! How could you have killed my husband?
Well, it was you who told me he'd worked it all out. I'm giving you a walloping.
He's the father of my child. Why did you give it to her?
It was the closest I could get to you. The one little bit of Mary Keane I kept with me all these years. The one little bit of you. I've got 2 passports. We can start all over again.
Is that why you came to Oxford?
It was fate. You can't run from fate.
They were other lives. They've gone now. I'm not coming back to you.
Oh, Mary. Mary, my love. Yes, you are.
She's in the garden with Don. He's got a gun.
Stay there.
Will you not fly away with me? I love you.
We're different people now.
I give up everything for you. I betrayed a cause I believed in. I left my country, my friends, my family. So come with me.
No!
So do you know what I was meant to do back then? Only this time, you first, and me.
Queen's University, Belfast. Class of 1986. Leon recognised you both.
Will you look at us, Mary? There's me fancying myself as Che Guevara. And you, heartbreakingly perfect.
Where did Leon get the photo of you as a child, Mary? The one he compared to the photo in Grace Orde's book.
Leon, he found it when we first met. It was my only little bit of Mary.
You slipped Elmo the LSD when he came to discuss his essay.
Shut up. Jeez, you're more like a captain than a sergeant. Captain Hathaway, Royal Regiment of Toffee-Nosed English Prats.
If he's a captain, I'm an NCO. I'm no toffee-nosed prat, Conlon. So now there's 2 of us. And that's just for starters.
Give me the gun. My darling boy.
I love you, Mary.
got con and dough in here, honey.
My way would have been better. He killed my niece, my Mary, but he still lives. Mary was like a daughter to me. Mary?
You're rubbish.
I told you I was never as clever as you.
That's advanced science. Erica Penland.
I'll look into it.
Thank you.
Listen, sorry about last night, but if you're free now, James and me will be doing something.
I've got a better idea. Come over next Friday.
To your place?
I was thinking more the mortuary. I'll cook.
I'll bring a bottle.
Of course, the correct term for a code name is a cryptonym.
Who told you that? MI5?
Zoe.
You're really talent spotted.
What, by MI5? They even got me to sign something. I changed my mind.
How did you get away with it?
I used invisible ink. Drink, sir?
Mine's a pint. Shaken, not stirred.